In this video today, we're going to talk about the #1 most important topic, and that is how do you as an independent artist or band get your music out there into all those shops such as Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, and many, many more worldwide. My name is Sue, and on this channel we talk about everything around the music industry, music distribution, music marketing, and everything you might want to know as an independent artist. If you like the videos, and especially also if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, but also don't forget to subscribe because that helps us to make many, many more videos in the future. Even if you do not work with a label and maybe your goal isn't even to ever get on a label because you want to be an independent artist, you want to take your career into your own hands, that is not a problem at all. You will have to work with a music distributor. In this video, I'm going to show you what you need, how you actually choose the right distributor for yourself, and how the royalties work that you are getting from streams and downloads. You as an independent band or artist, you don't even need a label anymore these days. You just need a music distributor, a digital music distributor, to upload your music and send it to the shops. In 2018, Spotify actually tried a very interesting thing. They launched a beta phase of a direct upload to Spotify. So their idea was that artists can directly upload their music to Spotify without going through a music distributor. They basically canceled the project not even a year later because they probably, that's just my opinion, realized how much administrative work that is. If you just think about it, if you upload your music directly to Spotify, somebody at Spotify still has to check the quality, like the master, the artwork, see if it has explicit lyrics or not, to just mark that. I think, and my guess is that Spotify just realized we are not able to do that. It's way too many people that it takes to check all those releases. So they basically canceled it. And now it's back to the music distributors to do exact that job, to do the quality assurance. All right, so the first step in this process is obviously to choose a music distribution service. And there are plenty of services out there, like TuneCore, DistroKid, CD Baby, iMusician, just to mention a few, but there's literally hundreds. So the main differences between those are in the fees that you have to pay. Some of the services actually charge an annual or even monthly fee. Some others make you pay only once per release. And you really have to make sure that you do the math here, because if you pay annually or monthly, that can add up easily. Another difference is the commission. So you always also have to have an eye on the commission you have to pay on your releases, because that can go from 0 to, I want to say 30% or something. And in the end, if you actually get some streams together, that can also make a big difference. The other thing you want to actually keep an eye on is the number of shops. There's a big variety. There's 200 plus shops out there, probably over 250 in the world. If you want to build an audience in another country, because for example, your genre or the music you make might be more popular in another country, you really have to make sure that that music distributor is actually delivering to those shops in those countries. Another thing to consider are the shops in general. Per genre, for example. If you make electronic music, you have to have an eye on the electronic music stores. There are especially important Beatport and Traxsource. Check out the stores that your distributor delivers to and make sure that these two are in there if you make electronic music. Another thing to consider is the time it takes for your releases to be in the shops. There's also differences there. Some distributors actually take for weeks to upload your music to the stores. Some others offer a couple of days. The minimum is 2 days. It does actually take 2 days to get your music into the store, so faster than that is probably not going to be possible. There are also music distributors out there who offer to deliver your music for free. The reason for that is usually that they also have a label in the background. A good example for that is Muse. What they do is they deliver a lot of music for free for anyone who wants to deliver their music, but then they listen to every single song and they actually pick very few artists that they think might be interesting for their label and then eventually sign those artists. The chances are not too high, and in the end, those distributors usually don't deliver to that many stores, so you have to be aware of those factors as well. We're definitely going to make more videos, or a video, or a trillion videos on different music distributors because I know you will probably be interested in the differences. I haven't mentioned it yet, but I actually work in music distribution myself, so I know a thing or two about music distribution and can tell you the differences and the pros and cons. Also, if you have any other questions about music distribution, be sure to let me know in the comments below because I'm very likely to be able to give you an answer on that. You might ask, why do I need a distributor, a music distributor at all? Well, as I've already mentioned, those are the ones who have the connections to the shops. And there are a couple hundred shops out there worldwide. You as an artist or a band would not be able to get in touch with all of those and actually deliver your music personally. On the other hand, especially those independent music distributors that I've already mentioned, they cover every genre, so you don't have to worry about anything. You have to pay a small fee to get your music in stores, but then you're good to go. So how does the music distribution work? It's pretty easy. You just create an account with your distributor, the distributor of your choice. You upload your album, and then there are a few things that you need. You obviously need your audio files, no brainer. I really recommend master your audio files, even if it's just instant mastering. There's nothing more annoying than having a very, very poorly mastered song out there with a very low volume level. So your mastered audio files. Then you need an artwork, and here it is very important that it has a good quality. It can't be pixelated and low res, because especially iTunes and Apple Music are very, very picky with that. So make sure you get it in a high quality, make it look nice. That is your goal overall anyway. And the third thing you need is the metadata, and that can be the artist name, the album or EP title, the track title, and also the contributors. The contributors are the people who actually wrote the song, the lyricist, and the composer. And that is very important. You have to actually enter the real names of those people here, because in the end, the collecting society is getting a small amount of the stream and download revenue, and that you can only get back when you actually sign with them, and they will need your real legal name for that. The last thing you will need is a barcode for your release and an ISRC for each of your tracks. Usually, and I think there's no exclusion actually, every music distributor will provide you those codes. Some of those music distributors actually charge for those codes, so that is another thing you might consider when you pick your music distributor. The barcode is a unique identification code. It's either called UPC or EAN, depending if you're in North America or in Europe, for example. It's just an identification code for your release. That can be a single, an EP, or an album. On the other hand, the ISRC is the unique identification code for your track. And this one is a very, very important code. You're going to hear me say that over and over again in many of my videos. The ISRCs. ISRC, what is way more important are the ISRCs, because it does keep and track all the statistics, all the streams, all the downloads, and all the playlists that your track is on. So definitely write that code down and never lose it. Besides all those platforms like Spotify and Apple Music that I've already mentioned, there are also a few free platforms that you can share your music with your fans on. One of the platforms that I want to mention here is, of course, Bandcamp. You all know Bandcamp, I'm sure. Bandcamp is amazing. They have amazing deals for artists. They're just a very fair platform and are supporting artists, especially in these very weird times during COVID-19. They implemented the Bandcamp Fridays, where they're not taking any percentage of the sales that artists make on those Fridays. And even on other days, they're only charging 15% for your digital sales and 10% for your physical sales, which is a really, really fair deal. And in general, Bandcamp is really making a lot of revenue. It's over 23 million US dollars a month. So you see, it is a significant platform. People are actually going to Bandcamp to find bands and buy merch and downloads and CDs and vinyl and everything. Another free platform to mention is Soundcloud. Soundcloud has changed their offer a little bit in the last couple of years, so there are a few features which you have to pay for. The reason why I still recommend Soundcloud is that I usually use it for sharing private links to your music. So for example, if you want to share an upcoming song that isn't released yet with radio hosts or blog editors or something like that, you can upload your music to SoundCloud and share a private link with those people. And Let's come to the final topic that you might be very and most interested in, and that is royalties. Because you will wonder, how much do you actually get paid per stream and download? How does it work? Do I need to have a membership with a collecting society and all that stuff? We're going to answer that very briefly, but first we want to look into the two different types of royalties you can actually earn. That is first and foremost the royalties from your master rights. Those are the royalties you get for your streams. If you are self-released, if you're an artist or a band that releases with one of those independent music distributors, that is actually the part of the royalties that you get directly from your music distributor. Just to make sure you know what the master rights actually are, they are the rights for your sound recording, the master, as it already says. So even if you didn't actually write the song, if you release a cover song, you are the artist on that release. The master is yours, so you are the rights holder for the master and for the recording. The second type of rights is the rights for the composition, and that comes in the form of the revenue from mechanical reproduction and your performance rights. Those are actually the royalties that are being paid to the composer, the lyricist, and the publisher if you have one. Mechanical reproduction in this case means obviously physical goods, so whenever your album is being pressed on a CD or turned into a vinyl or something like that, but it also includes part of the streaming revenue coming in. The royalties from the performance rights, on the other hand, are being collected by the performance rights organizations. Those are all sorts of things. Performances, obviously, so that means live concerts, but also live streams, and basically whenever your music is performed in a public setting. That can also be radio, that can be TV, that can be a bar around the corner that is playing your music, and any other setting where your music is being performed and played in public. So just as an example, if you actually are the songwriter of your song and you also release it yourself through a music distributor, you on one hand get the royalties for the master and the recording, and on the other hand, as the composer and the lyricist, you also get the royalties from the performance rights and the mechanical reproduction rights, because you're the owner of it all. So how do you get your money again, you might ask now? As I've already mentioned, the royalties coming from your master or recording rights are the royalties you get directly from your music distributor. On the other hand, the royalties from your performance rights are being collected by the performance rights organizations. To get those royalties from performance rights, you have to sign up with one of those organizations to get your royalties for the performance rights. As you might have noticed, royalties are a kind of complex, and to make it even more complicated, royalties work differently all over the world and in every single country. Just to give you an example about some performance rights organizations out there, in North America that would be, for example, BMI, and I really recommend you to sign up with them because you don't even have to pay any fees. In Germany, on the other hand, that would, for example, be GEMA, and here you have to pay annual fees, so you really have to consider if a membership makes sense for you or not. All right, to give you another example, because I know how complicated this topic is, let's talk about cover versions. So the example I want to bring on here is Because the Night, one of the most amazing songs ever written by Bruce Springsteen, actually, but performed by Patti Smith. Patti Smith recorded the song with Universal Music as a label, which means that Universal Music, as her label, owns the master and recording rights to the song. They obviously give Patti Smith a share of those royalties coming in from those rights. On the other hand, Bruce Springsteen is the rights holder for the composition because he actually wrote the song and he's the composer and the lyricist. So he will get the royalties for the performance rights and for the mechanical reproduction rights. I hope this cleared up the topic of royalties a little bit. I know how confusing it is, and I know it works differently everywhere in the world, but we are definitely going to make more videos on royalties, I promise. And this was it for our video today about music distribution and how you get your songs and releases into the streaming and download platforms. Again, if you have any questions about music distribution specifically, let me know in the comments and I'm gonna make sure to answer it. And to our 𝗚𝗢𝗏 weekly Spotify playlist, we are gonna add a track by the band Mixtape for the Milky Ways called No Sidewalk. Thanks for watching, and I see you guys whenever we upload our next video.